Hi everybody, it's Average Joe here. Today I'm doing a shop tour. So, let's get started. Okay, so I'm going to start out by just doing a quick little wraparound so you can kind of get an idea of where everything is. And this is a 22 by 22 garage. So, okay, so first thing I'm going to talk about my renovation to the garage. Let's go over here, and I put in this whole panel and ran all the electric in here. All that was in here before was a couple of 120 outlets, and I've got a 60 amp breaker. So one other cool thing I did when I ran the electric was that I put this light right here and the fans on the original garage circuit separate from this panel, because there's another panel in the basement. Reason for that, let's say the lights blow out while I'm working in here, and say I'm making a cut on the table saw and it's nighttime. I don't want to be caught in the dark, so I'm going to simulate that. Still have light. Not going to chop my fingers off. So I've got all these outlets about 4 feet above the ground. I kind of had to make these wall plates because they were 120 and light switches, but I ended up drilling that out for the 240 outlet. I've got those, I think I've got 7 of them spaced throughout the garage. Panning out here, I put a little lumber rack. Seemed to work out pretty well. I made these little brackets here and bolted the backside to the wall. So it's pretty stout, it holds quite a bit of wood, and some saws and stuff. Going over here, I've got my table saw. I've got the table saw. I centered it right in the middle of the garage to allow 10 feet this way and 10 feet that way. I've done a lot of reading and research on shop layout and shop setup, and I'm sure I don't know everything, but I scrutinize over these things and tend to overthink things, but I think it works out in the end. Got the 240 outlet there, another 120, and that's for future air compressor expansion. Dust collector, that's a 30 amp and a 20 amp. Still have to put a little switch on this heater, but for now it works. Got 14 of these lights in here, of the fluorescent 2 bulbs. And those fans were out of my basement. I put some new fans down there, so those were the only 2 lights there. They were 2 just regular 1 bulb lights, which I did some work in here and it worked, but it wasn't very fun. I am an upholsterer too, so I've got my sewing machine, and that's my old joiner back there. Now the bandsaw is, once again, it's centered in the garage. 10 feet that way, 10 feet that way, or 11 feet either way. So all my really long cutting machines are pretty well centered in the garage. So that was my theme there. I got these cabinets, Craigslist, for 20 bucks a piece or so. They're pink, but adds a little character, right? Clamp storage back there, and once again I've got the outlets all running. There's 2 right there, there's some. They're all running 4 feet above the ground for easy access, and that's really worked out well so far. Really enjoy having that. There's my joiner. That's a pretty decent spot for it. I pull it out if I have any really long boards to joint, but it's a nice spot for it because most of the time I can fit what I'm joining right there. This is, and got my router table here, a little router lift. This little storage area, miter station, radial arm saw station. I kind of just built out of some 1/2-inch plywood that was here at the house when we moved in, so I just decided to use it for that since it was cheap. And that's pretty functional. I really like that station. It holds a lot of tools. I've got my planer, oscillating spindle sander, and all my miscellaneous hand tools and all that, routers. Okay, and this monstrosity here, I don't really enjoy. It worked for the time being, but I think it's time to put some shelving there. That way I can run some shelving from up here all the way over to there, and then shelving and maybe some pegboard for all my hand tools in between, because right now I've got all my hand tools in here spread out through that tool bag. Get in there and try to get what I need quick. So that'll be changing. Once again, I've got the outlets back there. Put that little switch on for the radial arm saw. My drill press, which that's a decent spot for it. It's okay, but I'm thinking about moving it somewhere else. Got that little one too before I had this one. And nice little wood storage area, which is about 4 feet wide, so I can get a full sheet of plywood there, which is pretty nice. Let's see, I'll talk about my workbench here. Got my little vise on the end, and these are all pine boards that I just joined and glued together, or jointed and glued together. Just ran it through a big sander that I have access to at work. And a little storage area down there. This was all free wood, so that was really nice. And drilled all the dog holes in here. That's been pretty handy. I've got these little guys for securing my work. If I really need to secure a lot, I have a little board that I put here that holds a little more than this peg. Okay, so that's my shop. I hope everybody enjoyed it. I really get a lot of use out of it. Helps a lot around the house, doing all my projects that I want to do and all my wife's projects that she wants to do. So, thank you for watching. Have a great day. And if you have any comments, you can leave them below. You can subscribe to my channel because I'll have all kinds of other great videos to watch. And you can also check me out on Twitter at TheRealAverageJ. So get to work. Enjoy your shop. There's lots of shops better than mine. There's lots of shops worse. So this is just an example of what you can do. And go have fun. All right, have a great one.